Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Ark Survival Evolved. Today in this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you how to tame a mammoth, as well as everything else that you need to know about taming the mammoth. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on the channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Seftopia Discord. The links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. So before we get into it, this time around, I'm going to show you how to tame the mammoth without the use of a trap. Do bear in mind that the mammoth will run away. And obviously, because I'm not using a trap, you will want to use the spiked walls. To ride a mammoth, of course, you will need a saddle. And in terms of kibble, it likes the superior kibble, which you saw right there. So let's have a look at what level you need to be to craft the saddle. And over here, as you can see, you need to be level 31 to craft the saddle. And these are the items that you'll need in order to craft the saddle. So with that being said and done, there is a mammoth here that I want to tame. So the way I would do this is I would find the high ground and start knocking it out from the high ground. Do bear in mind that the mammoth does, of course, have quite a few enemies around. So wolves and the Argent sometimes attack the mammoth, as well as Rexes, Tyrannuses, and of course the Dead-on. So do bear that in mind. Make sure that the area is clear before you start going in trying to knock the mammoth out. Now do bear in mind that the mammoth is a knockout tame, so you will have to knock it out. You can use, of course, both the trank arrows as well as trank darts. It's really up to you, whatever you prefer. I want to go with the darts as they do less damage. And obviously always keep your eyes on the environment, as things may spawn in whilst you're trying to knock it out. Also, once it has been knocked out, make sure that you use the spiked walls to surround your tame, and that way you should keep pretty much anything and everything that will aggro on your mammoth away from it. So obviously for that you'll have to create a fairly large circle just in case a Rex does decide to spawn nearby. In terms of knocking this thing out, it is quite fairly straightforward. Just pepper it with the trank arrows or the trank dart until it falls to the ground. The mammoth is a good wood and thatch gatherer, and it does have a decent amount of HP as well as a good carry weight. So obviously, as you can see, I am using the simple long neck rifle. Nothing special about it, so that way you guys can see exactly how many darts it'll take me to knock this creature out. Because it cannot get to me, it will wander around, it will try and reposition itself. As you can see, it is just running away and just doing its own thing. It's trying to reposition itself. It's not necessarily close to having a high torpor yet, as I just started shooting the darts at it. And as you can see, also I am experiencing some lag to some level because I cannot shoot dart after dart. It is a bit annoying, and I may have to reposition. The mammoth does tend to spawn in the snow biome. There you will find wolves, Dead-ons, Tyrannuses, sometimes Rexes, and even Gigas. So be very careful as to where you land, and of course where you decide to try and knock it out, as you may end up being surrounded by a pack of wolves. That is not fun, and the Dead-ons are quite dangerous as well. So again, I am going for the high ground. It is trying to run away and reposition, but it's not yet close to being knocked out. And as you can see, one of the dangers is falling off of your vantage point, so do bear that in mind. Obviously I did choose that position there because I know I have this little iceberg right here. You can do this with a trap, but you will require a decent sized trap, probably a 4x4 or 6x6 trap with maybe 1 or 2 walls tall, and then of course you want ramps to kite it into. I would suggest building a trap made out of stone, as the mammoth cannot damage stone, but it can damage wood. And of course, by building a trap, you avoid all this that you are seeing now, where the mammoth is just running around and potentially may run into danger. Now, I did go around clearing the area before this. However, there is no guarantee that something may not end up crawling or creeping or finding its way into this area where I'm trying to tame the mammoth. Okay, so I've repositioned myself as the mammoth kind of moved away. The area is still clear, so I'm just going to continue darting it. I did dart it from a distance, but it is a bit difficult. It seems to have got itself stuck between these two rocks, which kind of works to my advantage, and I'm glad it did not go any further down, as there are some Rexes and some aloes as well. Another creature that you want to look out for is the aloes. Those are quite dangerous. So now that it's down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to surround it with the spiked walls. I'm not going to put it very close to the mammoth. I do want a fair distance from the mammoth, so that way the mammoth has some clearance from these spiked walls. But also, if a larger creature like a Allosaurus or a Rex does try and attack the mammoth, it will not be able to bite it from that distance. So obviously the Rex does have quite a long range on its bite, so that's always something to keep in mind when you're putting down these spiked walls. So I'm gonna try and do this off of my wyvern, just because there may be things around that might have more or less moved closer to my taming area. As you can see, I'm leaving quite a decent clearance. Obviously I will be keeping an eye on the environment to make sure that nothing gets close whilst the mammoth is taming. Also, another thing to keep in mind is, what I'd recommend is that you use the starving technique, which means that you'll have to wait for the mammoth to starve before you put the kibble in, as that way it does spare you the loss of kibble if it gets killed, or the waste of kibble if you're going for a high level tame. Obviously this can take time, and you will also need narcotics. So for this, I recommend using Dododex, which is an amazing app. Dododex is also available for Android as well as the iOS devices, and it can help you with the starving method, in that you will introduce the server details that you're playing on, and it will tell you how long you need to starve it for, as well as how much food, in terms of taming food, that you will need, as well as how long it will take. It is also good for breeding, for those that are interested in that sort of area. And obviously it is a free app for you guys to use. So now that I've surrounded the mammoth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my wyvern on top of those rocks. Now those rocks of course are destroyable, so they can be destroyed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my wyvern kind of like this, and with its face into the ground, so if I do need to mount it and defend my mammoth, I can do that at any given time. All I need to do is just edge it forward a tad bit, and you can see it's already facing the ground, so this should allow me to access my wyvern should I need to. The mammoth is now knocked out. It will stay knocked out for quite a while, and you will see that the torpor does not go down very quick, so it does give you quite a bit of time to surround the mammoth with these spiked walls and do whatever else that you need to do. So with that said and done, I am going to wait for the mammoth to starve out, and when it's ready I will cut back in. So with that being said and done, I'll see you folks in a little bit. Alright, the mammoth is now starved out. I'm going to place the kibble in its inventory, and it should start eating. As it does, it will replenish its food, and it will also start taming. You can also of course use berries if you want to. Obviously I don't recommend that for high level mammoths, as it will take a long time and you will need a lot of narcotics. The best thing to do is use the kibble, and as I said before, the kibble that the mammoth prefers is the superior kibble. As long as the mammoth is here not being hit by any creatures, including myself, it should tame with maximum taming efficiency, and you do want that for the added levels. Once the mammoth has tamed, don't forget to remove the food and kibble out of its inventory, as it will continue to consume it, and obviously you may want to use it for other creatures. These are the attacks for the mammoth. So it does have a stomp and a swipe with its tusks, and as I said, it can gather wood and thatch quite well. Once you finish taming the mammoth, or any creature for that matter, make sure that you clear the area around you so that other people can use it as well. So I normally tend to use the S+ demo gun to pick up the items that I place down, but if you demolish the spiked walls, you will get some resources back, which will allow you to craft some more for other tames that you may need. That is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.